Also joining us this evening from the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the Senator Rand Paul. He is probably best known as one of the most important and leading voices that are reaching out across left and right spectrums in order to challenge people to think about the role of government and the future of this country. Please join me in welcoming Senator Rand Paul. All right, gentlemen. Well, we should probably speak about Young Madisons. We should talk about young people because, Senator Paul, I think that's a population that you've really tapped into. And Steven, I know this is a population of really significant interest to you. What are you finding among kind of the emerging generation, a young generation of policymakers?
Personal freedom, personal liberty is probably more important to young people than regulatory freedom.
I think our generation sees an immediate need to reinvent our democracy.
Madison said, where the greatest power resides, there lies the greatest danger. And so they wanted to disperse the power. First, they didn't want the president to have too much, but then they wanted to disperse that power equally between the branches so there would be checks and balances.
You've mentioned several times a lot of left-right partnerships, and that's just not what the general public sees. Okay? But what you're suggesting is that, in fact, there is some collaboration happening between parties.
I think that it's misrepresented by the press. I've seen more angry within the party than I've actually seen between the parties. I think the biggest problem we face as a republic is too much power has gravitated to the presidency, and we've had a collapse of the separation of powers. The republic only continues as long as people have hope. So people have to have hope, and I still think it's a great country. But we do have some problems, and we ought to try to fix them. And I read the story of Khalif Browder, that really affected me. And this was a 16-year-old black kid in the Bronx, arrested and accused of a crime, put in Rikers Island, and kept for 3 years without a trial. That shouldn't happen in our country.
Do you think there's any link between our disillusionment with government and the dysfunction that we're seeing in Congress and the reduction of our expectations?
I tell people there are two reasons why you want your government to be small. The first reason is the liberty argument. You have to give up some liberty. So we have this social compact and we decide to have a government, but you have to give up some liberty. And where do you see your liberty given up? You see it on your paycheck. But we wouldn't want it to be 100% of our paycheck, then we'd have zero liberty. How do we have the smallest government we can possibly have and still have the maximum amount of liberty? But then the second reason why you want government to be small is what I call the efficiency argument. This is what Milton Friedman put forward when he said, nobody spend somebody else's money as wisely as their own. There are a few limited items that Madison would have said are few and defined. Government's not supposed to do everything and not supposed to be everything to everyone. Democracy's messy. I mean, our founding fathers knew that, and you have to get consensus. And consensus is presenting something to you where there's 1,000 moving pieces and we whittle it down to get rid of the most emotional stuff that we disagree on until we get to a bulk of things we agree on. And that we could do more of, and that's what I would call the definition of compromise.